for watching this KTV original programming. These episodes of Yoga with Mona for Everybody are an attempt to offer yoga's benefits to our community to enhance our community's health. And today I would like to thank Lynn Rosen, Sun Moon's prenatal yoga teacher for, dare I say, Lynn, a decade?
More than a decade.
More than a decade of experience teaching prenatal yoga. And I'd like to thank Lynn for sharing her talents with us on the show today. She's going to share with us some helpful things for yoga if you're pregnant. Lynn, you had something you wanted to share with me as well.
Well, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank my wonderful models, Christy and Fiona, for helping me out showing the prenatal poses.
We are so grateful to our models today. It's a very exciting time of life, and yoga can be very, very helpful. So we're hoping that this episode will give you some ideas if you are also expecting. Thank you for watching. Namaste.
Today we're showing some poses that would be helpful to do at home when you're pregnant. We'll start by lifting the arms, looking up, taking a deep breath in and exhaling, bringing your hands down to the heart center and turning your attention inward. We'll take that 3 times, inhaling up, looking up, exhaling to the heart center. 3rd time, we'll inhale up, opening the heart, smiling through the face, looking up to the sky, and exhaling, bringing the hands to the heart center. This is a wonderful thing to do if you're having a bad day. Just standing in front of a window, opening your heart to the sun, inhaling, looking up, exhaling, bringing your hands to the heart center, and maybe thinking of something that you're feeling a sense of gratitude for at this very moment. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky. Let's wiggle our fingers to feel a sense of energy through the fingertips. In this position, this is called mountain pose. It's one of the basic yoga poses, but it's wonderful for pregnancy because you get a sense of length through your back. Go ahead and send your weight a little bit back towards your heels, letting your lower back drop down, letting your knees be soft, sending your feet down to the center of the earth like a mountain and your fingertips up to the sky. Perhaps letting your head float back and up, feeling your chest wide and open, breathing deeply into your belly. And we're ready to come down. Just inhale, reaching up, and exhale, letting the arms float back down. We'll go ahead and take a shoulder roll, inhaling up, exhaling back and down. Take that 3 times, inhaling up, exhaling back and down, and inhaling up, exhaling the arms back and down. We're going to transition into tree pose, sidling up a little bit towards your chair. It's nice to have a chair available ahead of time or a wall to hold on to. Taking 1 foot up onto the chair, feeling a sense of your feet rooted to the earth as if you're a tree. You can leave your leg right here on the chair, or you can take your leg off of the chair. The only thing you don't want to do is have your leg directly on your knee. It can be up high or down low, and hands can stay at the heart center, or you can reach up high as if you're a tree. Breathing here, letting the lower back drop. It helps if you're trying to balance, to have a focal point, something you're looking at, and then gently coming out of the pose. We'll go ahead and take that on the other side. Feeling a sense of your feet rooted to the ground as if you're a tree. You can let your inner thigh muscles kind of move up and in, feeling strong through the core of your body, feeling long through your back. Your hands can stay at your heart center, or they can go up high, feeling a sense of connection from the earth up to the sky, breathing deeply into the belly. And when you're ready, we'll come on out of tree pose. Taking a nice long back stretch. It's wonderful to stretch your back when you're pregnant. So we'll go ahead and hold on to the back of the chair. walking back until you have a nice long back stretch. Starting with bent knees to see how it feels on your lower back. You can play around with where your feet are. Your feet can be hip width apart. They can be as wide as your mat. They can be even wider. So playing around with where you want your feet to be so that you get a nice, wonderful, long back stretch. Legs can be bent or straight. Inhaling deeply into the belly here, feeling a sense of expansion through the pelvis. Bending your knees and walking back towards the chair. Whenever you do a forward fold, it's nice to do a back bend. So we'll take our hands, place them directly on your sacrum, pressing into the sacrum with your hands to support your lower back, feeling a connection of your feet to the floor, squeezing your buttocks a little bit, and we'll inhale up, looking up at the sky, breathing here, feeling wide and open through the chest, letting your head float along for the ride, perhaps bringing a little smile into your lips. And we'll come on out of that. Let's do chair pose in the chair. Starting by holding onto the chair, walking back just a little bit, feet just a little bit wider than hip distance apart. In chair pose, you sit down as if you're sitting on a chair, feeling your head and tail pulling away from each other. If your lower back feels a little funny, you can kind of play around with your pelvic tilt here, maybe tilting your pelvis forward or a little bit back. But the key in this is to feel a sense of connection through the core. So pulling up on the pelvic floor muscles, hugging your belly in, sending the belly button towards the lower back. In this position, your hands can be at the heart center, or if you want to stretch your back more, you can reach on up. If that's a little hard on your quadriceps, you can try it from sitting on the chair. Scooching yourself to the end of the chair, inhaling up, exhaling forward, feeling a connection from your head to your tail, almost as if someone's pulling on your wrists. When you're ready to come out, you can inhale yourself up and exhale your arms down. This is the most wonderful pose when you're pregnant because it stretches the back muscles of the lower back. Taking your right ankle and placing it on your left knee, you might feel it already here, but if you want to feel a little bit more, just hinge forward a little bit from the hips. Breathing deeply into where you feel a stretch, breathing deeply into the belly. This is a great one to do if you've been sitting at the computer for a long time. Take a little break, do this one. This is, I consider, one of the most essential yoga poses for pregnancy. Coming back to center, while you're here, taking a chance to circle your ankles around, one way and the other, perhaps moving your foot forward and back. I like to let my hands do the work and let my ankle relax as I do this. It's nice to give a little extra attention to your feet when you're pregnant because the blood pools up in your feet all day. We'll go ahead and start with the other side. So placing both feet on the floor, feeling a connection to the floor, taking the left ankle, bringing it up over onto the right knee. If the stretch feels good here, just leave it here. Otherwise, hinge forward from the hips and you'll get a little extra stretch through the back body. Breathing deeply into where you feel the stretch. This should feel wonderful. Go ahead and circle the ankles around. Give your ankles a little attention. Circle one way and the other. Flexing back and forward. Maybe wiggling them around. And we'll put both feet down, reaching back and grabbing a hold of your belt. If you don't have a belt at home, you can use a piece of cloth or somebody's old tie, somebody's new tie. Taking the belt around the left foot. We'll scooch to the edge of the chair, feeling a connection between your sits bone and your heel, planting the heel on the floor. The foot of the opposite leg you can just go ahead and place on the floor and press into the floor with that foot. Reach back with the belt and push into the belt with the ball of your foot. You're going to feel a nice long stretch through your hamstrings. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can again hinge forward from the hips. Breathing deeply into the belly. We'll go ahead and take the other side. Stretching the legs long, feeling a connection to the floor with the other foot, the foot that's touching the ground. Go ahead and pull back with the belt, press in with the ball of the foot, letting the knees feel soft even as you have this long, long stretch. Breathing deeply into the belly. Relaxing the shoulders. We'll go ahead and come on out of that. This stretch is called supported downward dog. It's wonderful for the lower back. As you can see, we're doing it in two different ways. One with our hands on the top of the chair and one with our hands on the seat of the chair. Be careful to make sure that your chair is braced up against the wall or on a sticky mat like this so that it doesn't fly out from underneath you. In this position, you should feel a nice long stretch through the back, breathing deeply into the belly. Your feet can be bent here or straight. They can be very wide if you wish, or they can be hip width apart. If you want more of a stretch through the lower back area, you can pigeon toe your feet a little bit, send your ankles out, and you should feel a sense of opening through the lower back, breathing deeply into the belly. When you're ready to come up, go ahead and point your toes forward, walk towards your chair, come on up. If I'm low like this, I tend to bend my knees, come to a flat back before I can come up. This also makes a wonderful partner stretch. In the partner stretch, go ahead and link wrists with your partner. Walk back away from your partner until you both get a nice long back stretch. The knees can be bent here or they can be straight, but you want to feel a sense of a nice length through the back. Breathing deeply into the belly here. You can stay as long as you want. This is a wonderful pose to do at home. It feels great. When you're ready to come out, go ahead and take your weight on your own feet. Walk forward to each other and go ahead and take an upper back stretch, leaning backwards. Sending your chest up to the sky, relaxing your shoulders, feeling a sense of openness and feeling supported by your partner. When you're ready to come out, just give a little moment to acknowledge your partner. We're setting up now for our abdominal strengtheners. Very important when you're pregnant to strengthen your abdominal muscles. Because these are strengtheners, you don't want to do them every day. You might want to do them every other day or every third day. And you might want to do more than we're doing today. You want to work yourself so you feel like, oh, I can't do any more. Then just do one more and stop. You'll find as you keep doing it, you'll be able to do more. To set up for abdominal strengtheners, take your weight onto all fours with your knees under your hips and your wrists under your shoulders. Feeling like your hands are opening wide and pressing into the floor. As you can see, we have a blanket underneath us and a mat to cushion our weight. If you have any trouble with wrists at all, you can take this position instead, or you can give yourself extra padding. You don't want to hurt your wrists. You want to make sure your wrists are safe in this position. When you're ready, we're simply going to round the spine and come to a flat back position. Go ahead and breathe deeply into the belly, exhaling as you round and inhaling to a flat back. The first couple you can do as if you're just giving yourself a nice massage for the lower spine, exhaling and rounding the spine, inhaling to a flat back. When you feel like you've got the rhythm of it, go ahead and consciously contract the abdominal muscles, pressing the belly button towards the lower back. And release as you come to flat back. Exhaling and rounding the spine. Inhaling, releasing to flat back. If you'd like to add more to that, you can contract the pelvic floor and the abdominal muscles as you round. and then inhaling to release to flat back. Sometimes it's nice to come on up to your knees and shake out the wrists for a moment, or take a little lower back stretch, placing your hands on your lower back, pressing into your lower back with your hands, contracting your buttocks a little. Inhaling as you reach up with your chest, feeling the head just riding along with it, and coming back up. We'll come back down to all fours again. Again, cushion your wrists if you need to. We'll go ahead and take the right leg back for a half plank pose here. In this position, you ground the ball of your foot into the floor. You're feeling like your heel and your head are pulling away from each other, and you feel very strong through the core, as if your belly button is pressing towards your lower back. When you're ready, taking your weight onto your hands, lifting your foot up. You want it low to the ground, not higher than your spine. If this feels easy, you can reach the opposite leg out for a cross-body lift. Just holding this as long as you feel like you can. You might feel a little bit wobbly. And placing your hands down. We'll take the other side. If you're feeling too wobbly, you can open the legs a little bit wider. That'll give you a wider base. When you're ready, we'll take the left leg back, taking weight onto the hands, pressing into the floor with your toes, feeling your heel and your head pulling away from each other. We'll go ahead and lift that left leg, keeping it low to the ground. And if you're feeling stable here and it feels good, take a cross-body lift here. Holding it for as long as you can and bringing it back down again. Perhaps you want to go ahead and rock forward and back from the hips. And we'll take a little rest here. This is called child's pose. We'll bring the feet together, the knees apart, and then go ahead and place your forehead on the floor and stretch your arms out overhead. This should feel very good. So if it doesn't feel good, you can pad it up. You can take a blanket, fold it up, and put it underneath you. Or you can take a pillow and put it underneath your arms. So a blanket can go on top of your heels, or they can go on your arms. We'll come on up out of that pose. We're going to go ahead and do a side-lying abdominal strengthener. This one is wonderful because you can do it directly after having a baby, even after a C-section. It's very gentle, but it's very effective as an abdominal strengthener. Lay down on your side. Go ahead and give yourself a nice cushion under your head or under your hips, letting your top leg kind of come a little bit forward from your lower leg. Then when you're ready, you're simply going to bring your pelvis forward and then back in line with the body. Notice in this position here how Fiona has got her hand directly underneath her shoulder. She's pressing into the floor to support the movement. In this position, it's nice to have your hand here, but just see what my hand is on my hips. I'm just moving my pelvis forward and then back in line with the body. As I do that, I'm really working my deep abdominal muscles. Taking care to breathe here and relaxing any part of the body that's not actively involved in the movement. For this one, you can do as many as you want until you feel like it's too much, and then maybe do one more and stop. When you're ready to come up out of this, or anytime you're getting up, press into the floor with your hand and let your head be the last thing to come up. It's nice to end your yoga with some relaxation. Relaxation is a wonderful way to provide nourishment for your baby. Studies have shown that the more relaxed a woman can be during pregnancy, there's great benefits to the baby. The baby has better chances in utero, better chances for labor, and perhaps even greater IQ as they get older. These women are in a side lying position. You can see they've got their legs propped up so that they can get a little extra blood to their ankles. They've got something between their legs to support their lower back. They've got a bolster under their arms and something under their head. You can lay in any position that's comfortable, but it's nice to pad yourself up when you're pregnant. In this position, it's nice to go ahead and breathe as deeply as you can, perhaps allowing the parts of your body that are touching the floor to melt into the floor, and perhaps allowing yourself to exhale completely before you inhale again. Putting yourself in a place of deep relaxation, perhaps on every exhale, letting go just a little bit more with each breath. Thank you everyone for joining us for prenatal yoga today. I hope you enjoyed your yoga. I hope you'll use it at home. We certainly enjoyed putting it together for you. Thank you. Namaste.